Hello, this is Vicky,
And Crystal.
and it is
April 11th.
yeah, that April 11th, Thursday. It is 6 o'clock at night, and we are making a soap called,
Shelly Belle confetti soup.
and the fragrance is a dupe. It is Love Spell, the Victoria's Secret type. Um, I wanted to do something out of the ordinary. I see what other people are doing with Love Spell, trying to match the name of the fragrance up with the soap. But Love Spell, it smells citrusy to me, and it's got a really nice, clean fragrance, and that's what we want for this soap. So we're going to fragrance it with Love Spell, but its name is going to be Shelly Belle Confetti Soap. My daughter's name is Shelly. We used to call her Shelly Belle when she was little, and she actually called me up and said, "Hey, Mom, can you do this?" So that's what we're doing. Okay. In this bucket here, we have our oils and butters already melted. Actually, we didn't even have to melt some of them. It is so hot out today, which was really cool. So this is our oils and butters. This is the confetti that we're going to use. See, nice springy kind of colors. Really pretty. And then I've got some longer confetti soaps to use as a topping. In here, we have our milks, clays, vegan silk, and aloe in this cup. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this, which is our sodium lactate. So that's going in first. It's been really kind of crazy around here. I get ready to open up our shop tomorrow. I've got butterflies. Everything's just going to blow up on me because it doesn't matter what I do. It just goes to, might as well open up the dumpster lid and toss it in there or something. So my husband has the day off of work, so he's actually going to go down with me so that I've got a little bit of support from him, as well as Crystal, I might as well call her my assistant. She's actually been here kind of what I call it, wiping my butt for me, making sure I don't forget anything, setting everything up. She does quite a bit around here, actually. All right. So as you can see, just from me putting the sodium lactate in, it created bubbles on the top. So trusty dusty rubbing alcohol gets rid of the bubbles. Okay. I'm just going to give that a little bit of a slow stir as to try not to disturb the oils and add any unnecessary bubbles in it. I have been having a problem with these real little teeny tiny I would call them like baby Swiss cheese bubbles, and I don't know where they're coming from. So now we're doing every precaution that we could possibly do to not have little teeny tiny baby Swiss cheese bubbles in the soap. So there's that. Okay, now we're going to add our milks and clays, which we just mix up, so I know there's no lumps, clumps, or bumps in it. I got to turn the cup around. I have trouble with these cups of holding on to them. And if you pour down your spatula, that's also supposed to help. And I didn't do that with the sodium lactate, so I should have, but I didn't. Okay, there's that. Kind of just stir this around a little bit. Mmm, yummy. All right. My mom was going to come over and watch us make this soap because it was for my youngest daughter, Shelly. But she's not feeling too well today, so um, she's not sick. She's just not feeling well. She's hurting, and probably because we have a big cold front coming through tonight. Excuse me. All right, so I'm going to kind of burp the blender. See all those bubbles that just came up? And I'm just going to, there is no lye in this just yet. All I'm going to do is mix the clays and the stuff together into the oil. All right. So far, so good. I do soap cool, or cold as I would like to say it. The colder the better. Gives me a little bit longer to work with the soap. In this container is my lye water. I am working with a water discount. And so I just make my lye up ahead of time and put it in a mason jar and cover it with some plastic wrap and stuff so I don't get that ugly skin on it. And yesterday my husband came home and played with the the saran wrap and it popped on him. So there's a little bit of lye on the cover of my jar now, but that's okay. So I'm just going to add this in now. My soap does have a tendency to come up to a quick trace. But this recipe here is a newer recipe than what I've been working with because we're working with a smaller mold today. So we're not quite at trace, which is okay. Just give it a once around. It's starting to heat up now, so I can feel the side of the bucket's a little warm. So that's okay. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add the fragrance oil. And I do know that every time I've worked with this one particular company's fragrance oils, even though they say that it is soap safe, the whole nine, the soap has a tendency to seize up on me. So that's why I'm adding the fragrance oil in now, because usually all I have to do really is mix this together and throw it in the mold. Actually, you know what? Before I even put that in there, I want my batter white. So we're going to put some titanium dioxide in the batter to make it white before we add the fragrance oil. Let me get this out of the way so I can work with this here. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Move the carousel and stick it there for me. Crystal's getting the bucket of water I usually keep for my blender, so it makes it easier to wash afterwards. Let's see how that does. It still looks a little yellowy. So before I do that, I'm going to take some of the soap out of here and put it in here. Waste not, want not. Mix it around and dump it back in. Well, of course, you know me. I can't do anything without making a mess. Sorry, Crystal. I just shot soap at her across the counter. Alright, well, that's probably about the best I'm going to get it out of this. Oh, you know what? I should do that. I'm going to add a little bit of this into here, since I've already got it in. Wow. It's so warm in here that the bottle that I've got the titanium dioxide on just kind of like blew up in the soap. Yummy.
Oh, yeah.
And that's my husband, of course, coming out. The master of ceremonies here.
Thanks for the leftover dinner.
You're welcome for the leftover dinner. Didn't you know that spaghetti tastes better the second day? It was either eat it for leftovers or throw it to the dogs, and I wasn't throwing it to the dogs. So, leftovers it is. What do you think about that color? It looks yellow to me. It does. I don't know if it's the titanium dioxide. I'm going to have to send somebody an email and ask them that when titanium dioxide, a lot of times when I see these ladies make soap with this, their soap turns pure white. But when I make soap with it, it turns yellow. And then it turns white slowly after it starts to cure. Alright, well, there ain't much I'm going to be able to do about it. It's starting to thicken up because it is at full trace. My soap usually has a tendency to thicken up and then it'll cool right back down again. I found this nifty little program online just for making soaps, lotions, and bath bombs, stuff like that. And so far it has been one of the best programs that I've found. I have tried the MMS calculator or whatever, Mountain Sage. I've tried a couple of different calculators, Miller's Soap Page, and they're all really good. But I know sometimes when I would put a recipe into one, the other one would contradict and say, oh, well, you need to do something else to it. So I'm like, I need something that, you know, is going to give me more definitive answers. And I found one after searching for quite a while, and I happen to like it. And I'm just going to give this a stir. Make sure there ain't no boobles in here. Just kind of give it a stir so I don't have to whip it into shape. As I heard somebody else say it, and that is actually the most perfect description of seized soap. Whip it into shape. Plop it in the mold. It smells good. Smell. Alright. Wish me luck.
I'll start with half, see what it smells like.
Yep. Well, here lately I've only been having to use about half a container, and it scents the soap up quite well. So far, so good. Smells outstanding, just to let you know. It smells really good. Can you smell it? So I'm going to Try a little more.
You know Shelly, she's gonna want
Yeah, she's gonna want it smelly. It's smelly Shelly's. Smelly yummies. That's what she called it. My smelly yummies. So that's all I'm gonna put in there. And now I'm gonna add my soap shavings.
Oh, I didn't know if you were gonna add them like in the middle, like put half down and then put them in there.
Dump it in the soap. Ooh, I don't want to put that much. Well, Shelly, you got lots of shavings in it this time. And what we're going to do is we're going to pour it right into the mold. We might need the turtle. It's what we call the turtle. And all the turtle is, it's a nifty little mold that my mama, my adopted mama, gave me from New York when I was up there visiting. And it is a silicone turtle mold that she used to make actually, you know what? Give me the 2-pounder. There's enough in there for the 2-pound mold. Apparently, I can't pour it across the counter. See, it's already starting to do its thing, so therefore I did that just right. I'm glad I planned around the fragrance doing what it's doing because it's actually accelerating now. Alright, you want to take that one and I'll take the big one. We're going to pause you for a second to, here, you want to spray that in there, to kind of save your eardrums from all of the banging, and we'll be right back. Okay, I've got mine banged out, so I'm going to go ahead and put the shavings on top that I promised my daughter. And these are shavings from the different soaps that I've made. And I tried picking out the more springy colors that I had. And it is hard. My soap is hard. Is yours hard?
Getting there.
So here in probably just a couple of hours, because the soap did seize up, but we had anticipated the soap to seize up. Mine is actually hard as a brick. Yes. Here, hurry up. Before it gets too hard for the soap to stick to. I will probably be able to take this out in not even, I'd say maybe just a few minutes really, because it is hard. Like hard enough for me to touch it now, hard. It's like in full seize, which I am so glad I anticipated that with this fragrance. So it was all one color soap. If you know a fragrance is going to seize, do an all one color soap. Mix your color first. Then at the very last minute, throw your fragrance in, mix it all together, and throw it in the mold. So if it seizes up, it'll seize up in the mold. And that way, it'll work out much better for you. What I will probably do is, if none of my soap shavings actually stick to the top, and I won't know until I take this out, what I'll probably do is take a little bit of rubbing alcohol and spritz it with rubbing alcohol and put glitter on it for her. But I know that she'll love this soap because it really smells outstanding. So here's mine. Crystal, you want to bring yours over? And we'll show you what hers looks like.
Well, it's expanded, like pushing out the mold.
Is it? Oh, I see what you're saying. And this is Crystal's, the tall one. And we made this out of a box, a corrugated cardboard. Freezer, girlfriend.
Freezer.
Yes, yours is hot. Like hot. Mine's going to go in the refrigerator. We're going to try to cool it down.
Top shelf?
Doesn't matter, as long as you can fit it in there. long as it ain't over the ice cube tray. I don't want oil in the ice cube tray. Anyway, we'll probably be back in just a little bit to see what happens next, okay? And this is Shelly Belle's Confetti Soap. We'll see you after a bit. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
Probably been about
Hello,
5
welcome back. And it's only been approximately 15 minutes since we've talked to you last. And this is the soap here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out of the mold. Don't take yours out yet, sweetheart. I'm going to take it out on the camera. Because of the soap season up like it did, which we had anticipated, the sooner that we cut it, the easier it's going to be. If we wait too long, the soap will be actually a little too hard for us to cut it. So we're going to take it out of the mold now. Crystal's little one did start to heat. Her mold felt hot, and I think the reason it felt hot is because her mold's thinner than mine is, so it just felt hot to me. So, but it actually did not overheat or melt or anything like that.
What's the blue one?
The blue
Or the
what?
silver one?
What are you talking
Nice.
about, honey? The black handled one. Or no, the blue one. You're right.
The blue one don't have any marks.
Yeah, the blue one doesn't leave marks.
Trying to help you.
Yep. So now I got to, if you're wondering about the duct tape on my mold, I did have, when I first started soaping, I had a soap overheat in the mold and all of the oils melted. So now tape does not stick to my mold, regular tape. So I took duct tape and I wrapped duct tape all the way around the mold so that regular tape will stick to it. And this is actually quite hot, but if you feel it, it's as hard as a brick. So I'm going to put this back in the refrigerator, okay? And we're going to check Crystal's out because she stuck hers in the freezer. I'm going to put this on a, there should be one in there already.
Hot plate?
Yeah, listen, it's actually hard, but it's very hot. So it's going to gel, which is fine. Stick this on it so it doesn't break my glass. It's really hot. So it did heat up a little bit, but it's not melting. It's doing its thing. It's saponifying. And this mold here I made out of corrugated cardboard that I have. And yes, it might look funny, but I will tell you exactly 2 pounds fits in this. And it makes the stand-up bars that everybody likes so much. I can't find the tape. There it is.
Sorry, I think I'm over that one. That's why it's short.
Did you run out of? No. Okay.
It's still hot too.
Yeah, yours is still a little warm, so stick it back in there. I'm actually going to try to see if I can't pound it down a little bit. No, I'm going to do that. To try to get it to... Look.
It's pushed.
No, the paper's coming off. See it?
Hmm.
That's so cool. That's so cool. Let's get the paper back onto the mold because it's still a little warm. Go stick that in the, go ahead and put it back in the freezer or in the refrigerator. So that's just after, actually it's only been about 10 minutes since we last talked to you and it's hard already. So we will check back again. Okay? Thank you. I'm going to clean up a little bit more. See you in a bit. Good morning. I'm sorry we didn't get back to you last night. We actually kind of got a little bit pooped last night, so we kind of went to bed because we're opening up the shop today at the Route 13 Market here in Laurel, Delaware. It is Friday, April 12th. It is 7 o'clock in the morning, and I did cut the small batch of confetti soap, and it is really pretty. It did gel. I don't know if you can see it with the lighting in here because it is dark. It gelled in the center. That's why it's so dark right now. It did turn out really, really pretty, so I'm hoping my daughter likes it. It smells, look at that, isn't that beautiful? Little soap curls on top. It smells really, really good. So this will all we're going to set it out to dry, and we'll clean all of this up, of course. And this is the soap that seized last night. Hold on just a second. I'm going to try. Honey, can you flip that light switch with your elbow? I see your arms are full. Ah, thank you. A little bit more light. The soap did turn out white. However, where it gelled, it is a little dark. So, but I'm pretty sure that where it gelled in the center, that as it dries, it'll go away. So, here is Shelly Belle's confetti soap. And I really, really hope that she likes it. It's very, very beautiful. So what I'm going to do now, since I've got the little loaf cut, last night I did try to take this loaf out of the mold because it was hard on the outside, and when I took it out, it bent in the center. So this one will be a little funkalicious looking, but it'll be all right. It smells absolutely beautiful. And I'm going to try to cut this soap up this morning for you. And a lot of these, because the soap was so hard by the time it went in, by the time we tried putting the toppings on, a lot of these little curlies didn't stay on top when you flip it over. So I'm going to try to flip it over because it's really, really hard this morning. So I can measure it and cut it. I will probably have to plane the bottom of this soap so it will stand up and whatnot. It won't take any off of the weight of the soap because my bars are generally big anyway. So I know everybody says, "Oh, your poor counters, your poor counters." I've had a lot of things on these counters, and believe me, if soap is the worst of it, I'm doing good. I've had 10 plus kids go through this house, and as over the past years that I've had this house, and I will tell you that if soap is the worst of what goes on this countertop, then I'm doing good. So we're gonna try to measure it here. I don't know how well I'm gonna do with the measuring, but we'll see. And all I do here is I poke a hole in the side of the soap at 1-inch increments. Because my cutter broke. This is why we usually don't do cutting videos anymore, because the cutter broke, and this just takes me so long to try to get it right. And then what I usually do here is I'll take the trusty dusty flat knife and I'll just draw a big old crooked line on the soap. At 1-inch increments. Because I'm not very good at this. I never have been very good at this. That's why I did have the cutter. But back to doing it this way for a little while until I can get a new cutter. My husband went to tighten up the strings on it, and the string broke, so I gave him the new string, and then when he went to put the new string on, the whole unit just fell apart, and it was a fairly new cutter. So, having said that, we'll have to take the cutter and exchange it. It is very hard soap. Look at that. It's beautiful, and it smells really, really good. So, it smells fruity, citrusy, really, really, really good. We have Crystal's running around trying to get some things together to take with us, because just because we're at the store doesn't mean work has to stop. So she's running around getting some things together for us so we can continue working at the flea market. So we will probably be recording there today, making a soap. Well, actually a couple of them. This soap, the way it feels when I cut it, see the bottom? I'll have to kind of even that up a little bit. When I cut it, it actually feels like it's been sitting in a mold for about 3 or 4 days. That's how hard it is, because it did seize. But I am so glad that we anticipated the soap seizing and just went with one color and mix our different colored confetti in. Because I know that, you know, I do not buy fragrances from that company anymore. Soap safe or not, every time I use the fragrances from that company, they seize. It doesn't matter what fragrance it is, they seize. So, you know, unless I have a soap like this, I won't be using their fragrances. I do have one fragrance that everybody loves, 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 and that is the Spring Dream fragrance of tulip, honeysuckle, and water lily. Everybody loves that, including my mother, and I've actually got requests for more of that soap, so I will have to order that and do a redesign, and I have told everybody it will be a redesign. It'll be one color soap. What I might do with the one color is I might take and make another one color soap and put maybe chunks in it or embeds or something, so that, you know, it's got a little bit of design, but it's got to be redesigned. There's that side. Isn't that pretty? And it really does smell really good. So thank you, Shelly. I had been working on a design for this particular soap for quite a while, but she don't know that, so don't tell her. And she called up and said, she sent me a picture actually. She said, Mom, can you do something like this? And she's like, it's white chocolate, hint, hint, as to the scent that you can use. But I do have a chocolate soap already, and it doesn't sell as well, even though it is probably one of the silkier soaps that I have. I think it's the whole, it looks like chocolate and chocolate chips, and I don't know if people are around here are really into that. Looking like, you know, washing, like, looking like you're washing with a bar of candy bar. It's great for the kids, but the other people don't really care for it, so. The silkiness and everything, I guess that doesn't matter to them. They'd rather have, you know, something that doesn't look like candy when they're washing. See the split right here? I did that. And I did this right here when I lifted it up because it bowed. And it was hard too. It was just as hard as a rock. But I guess the soap had other ideas and it just wanted to stay in the mold. So we got tired last night and went to bed. It has been, the past couple of weeks have been totally busy and crazy around here. My husband, I believe, is a little relieved because he's thinking, well, now maybe things can get back to normal here at the house when we open up the shop. So, isn't that pretty? This soap really is not tacky, but it is still a little soft, but it is not tacky at all whatsoever like my soaps normally are. But this soap also gelled, even though it was in the refrigerator, it gelled. It got very hot. And the crackle effect that you get from titanium dioxide gelling just kind of works with the soap. You know, it works with the confetti. So I think that turned out really kind of cool looking. And these white specks is not color, that's actually white soap. So I think this is really pretty. You hear our audience this morning. Our little Logan is up at the crack of dawn. She's going to go over to my mom's house for the day because it is nasty weather out. And it is the first day open, so my mom said she would take her for us to try to, so we don't have to worry about the baby while we're trying to set the store up and stuff. See, a lot of the topping came off, but we're going to fix that. We have plan B for the topping, so I'm not too worried about that.
So you see how much it weighs.
Do what? I can't. 4 ounces. Okay.
So you can't do it.
Yeah, those are the only ones that you have to weigh out for the... What's this one for? This one. The soap we're getting ready to make.
Huh?
Which
This
one's...
is...
Oh, the extra. I'm confused. Oh, well, it doesn't take much, I guess, for me. Crystal's got to stay on my butt.
This is for...
Isn't that pretty?
Yeah.
Look at the shadow from my my camera pole on the soap. So. The top is still pretty. It is. It's really pretty. We're doing a couple of soaps today. One of them is going to be Butterfly Hugs, and it's going to be pink, blue, orange, and white with a little tiny bit of black. Isn't that pretty? I probably should have added more shreds, but I didn't want to overpower the soap with shredded soap. That's going to be a nice little sample for somebody that gets that. I usually cut them into thirds and clean them up and send with whoever orders soap. I try to send them a sample of these, a soap that they haven't gotten before. Try to get it up there because the camera's backwards, and I've tried doing the on the mirror thing, but for some reason it doesn't work for me. So isn't that pretty? Got orange and red and blue and pinks. A little tiny bit of glitter, some white, a little bit of black. It's got all the colors. And actually the colors aren't even being picked up by the camera. It's like the weirdest thing. Let me see if I can back it out a little bit and try to zoom in. Maybe that'll work better. Can you see the pink and the blue, black, orange, all colors of the rainbow? And I wanted it a springy color, so yeah, it worked really well. And it smells oh so good. The whole kitchen smells like this soap. So it smells really good. So there is Shelly Belle's confetti soap, and look at all my toppings that fell off. But like I said, we have a plan. This soap is not done yet. We're going to try a couple of things with it, and to get some more of the confetti to stick to the soap. So we have a plan for it, and I probably won't post pictures after this video, because we were going to try to get some more of the confetti to stick to the top of the soap, using a couple of different applications. So thank you for watching. You all have a great day, and if you're in the area, stop by the market and give us a visit. See you later. Bye-bye.